Hey, Doug Upton here for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. Today is Tuesday, December the 19th. We are getting ever so closer to Christmas time, aren't we now? Okay, last minute Christmas rush. Don't know how you are about shopping. I don't do much. My wife does most of it for me. And she even likes, well, it works out great because she likes to pick out her own gifts. So that's even better. So that way I can't screw anything up. So that works out pretty well for me. But otherwise, yeah, I like to get outside a little bit after being cooped up for months and months and months here. So that's not so bad. And checked out some Christmas lights. Hey, and speaking of flashing lights, Vegas Pro Insider Daily, $39.99 a month. You're going to get all of my picks. Been doing now, I can't even say quite well. I have been just stupidly good in the NBA. I'm number one at, I think, every monitor that I'm at. All told, I'm 15-0-1 in the NBA of late. Never had a streak like this. Not even going to just say how wonderful I am about it. It's just one of those things, because I think the NBA is the hardest thing to do in terms of betting and making money and picking winners. But for some reason right now, it's all going my way. Still doing well in the NFL. Got a positive number. Bowl games 101 to start. So we're gonna pick that up as we go along here. And then, of course, college basketball, NHL, all good, $39.99 a month. That's all it's going to cost you. Plus, you're going to get Wise Guy Plays, Super Systems. The Super Systems have been blinking hot of late. I want to say like 21-6, just killing it also. So this is your chance. Hop on board. We've got the whole bowl season to go. I also slide you some other free picks for some other stuff, too, that goes along. So check it all out. Vegas Pro Insider Daily membership, $39.99 a month. Now, this is what we're going to start doing is going to be more how we're going to likely to be going forward and look in doing these videos. So we're going to start off with a bowl game. I forgot before I forget. Last weekend, not so hot. Basically 500 overall on the picks. Nothing special. Better in the bowls than in the NFL. But 35, 24, and 2 still on 61 plays, over just about 60%. So that's pretty strong on freebies, no less. So let's start off with the bowl game. We got the one tonight, the Boca Raton Bowl, Akron and Florida Atlantic. Now, when this game was originally released, when the bowls were first set up, we got all the matchups. In this one, the Boca Raton, Florida Atlantic end up going to get a home game, and that immediately that night shot up from -17 up to -21.5. It continued to grow all the way to -23, and it's been hovering today or yesterday, -22 to 22.5, kind of bouncing back and forth. And the question I think every bettor has in their mind is, how is Akron going to stop the Florida Atlantic running game? Okay, great question. And that's what you have to be able to answer in this game. The other thing that has occurred is that the total has gone up along with it from 62 up to 65.5. Now I look at this game. I saw an Akron team that is at best middle of the road in the MAC talent-wise, but they never quit. Okay, they keep playing. That's how they ended up winning their division. Not that they were better than Ohio U. They just kept plugging away. They did beat Ohio U, but still they just kept plugging away. They got it done. When they played Florida Atlantic, they just kept playing. Okay, I'm sorry, not Florida Atlantic. When they played for the championship against Toledo, they were swamped right at first. I think it was 28-0, as I recall, as 20-some point underdogs. But they just kept playing, and they end up covering the spread. I don't think this is going to be any different here in terms of that. And I think Florida Atlantic will be less excited for this game because there was real meaning to win the Conference USA Championship. To win a bowl game at home, getting 3 touchdowns, I think that the play is going to be on Akron on this one. And I think that the other aspect, the over, I think is the wrong play. I think the under is going to be the play, again, for the same reasons. I'm just not sure Florida Atlantic will be that excited to play. I could see a 38-17 game. Sounds about right to me. We'll see how it plays out. All right, let's move on to some college basketball. Rice is at New Mexico State. That's a later game, I think 9:30. It's just 9:30 Eastern local times. With this one, New Mexico State, I don't know if you know anything about Lobos basketball. They take it real intensely in Albuquerque. So them being 3-8 right now, I would not want to be that coach right now for New Mexico State. In Lobo land, that's just not going to fly. Now Rice is also 3-8, But expectations are quite a bit different for Rice's basketball program than they are for New Mexico's. Now, I was still, nonetheless, I was still surprised to see the Lobos go from minus 12 and a half up to minus 15 in this one. Even though I was surprised when looking at it, thinking about it, going over all the numbers, I'm still going to give a lean to New Mexico on this one because they have a severe advantage in making three-point shots. They make 4 more per game on average and actually even shoot it better at home, which I think is the other key criteria here. So I will give the 15 points to Rice in this one, leaning with New Mexico. Another college basketball game. Dayton makes the trip out west to play St. Mary's. Now, in this one, I looked it up. St. Mary's is 0-3 against the spread. Dayton is 6-0 against the spread against teams that make 48% or more of their shots. So I think that's the biggest rationale, at least in theory, as to why Dayton has slipped from plus 11 down to plus 8.5. However, once again, I'm going to disagree with the line move on this one. I don't think the Flyers, this team, they're 500. I don't think they're as good as what they've been in the past. And I will tell you explicitly, I am no fan of Anthony Grant as the head coach of Dayton. He blew out in Alabama. I just don't think he's that good of a coach, plain and simple. I don't think Dayton is as good a team this year. St. Mary's is down from last year, no question about it. But in their 3 games that they did not cover, all the spreads were 17 or higher. I think they'll come back. I think they're 65-44 in home non-conference games overall the last, I think, 15 years, 20 years. I like St. Mary's here, minus the 8.5. Lastly, let's talk some NHL hockey. Get that stick out, baby. There we go. Move that thing down the line. Montreal at Vancouver. That's going to be another late start for you Easterners. It's going to be 10:05. Both of these teams are not playing well, in part because they're not particularly good, and the other aspect is they're a lot of injuries for both teams on this one. Montreal has lost 4 out of 5. The Vancouver Canucks have lost 5 out of 6. Both of them aren't good. This, Montreal, though, moved up, minus 120 up to minus 140 on that. And again, not a big play by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm going to give a lean here to Montreal on this one, only because when I'm looking deeper into the Canucks numbers, they're not scoring much and they're giving up a lot of goals. So I think Montreal can take advantage of this, even on the road, despite their 5-9 record. And 85% of bettors do agree with me on this one, as it turns out. So, hey, this is Doug Upstone for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. Hope you do well in your picks tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to talk some more. I'm sure we'll have some more bowl games from the next couple of days, and NBA most likely, because of a pretty slim schedule today. We'll be back. We'll be talking that. Doug Upstone, as of right now, I am out.